Welcome back to the Tip of the Ice-Burgh podcast, brought to you as always by InsideThePenguins.com. I'm Nick Berlansky. That's Nick Horwat. We're talking potential first-round playoff matchups. Now, I understand Penguins need to get there first, but it's looking more and more likely that they're going to be able to clinch a playoff spot for the 17th consecutive season, especially considering the way that they have played since that embarrassing loss to the Edmonton Oilers on home ice. Since that happened on February 23rd, the Penguins are 7-1-1. Currently sit in the wild card 1 position with a 5-point advantage on the Florida Panthers, including a game in hand on them, who is the first team out. According to Money Puck, the Penguins have a 96% chance to make the playoffs and a 33% chance to make the second round. In order to do that, they're going to have to beat one of 3 teams if they do indeed clinch a playoff spot: the Boston Bruins, Carolina Hurricanes, or New Jersey Devils. Those are the 3 teams. There's like a 98% chance it's going to be one of those 3 teams unless something drastic happens here in the tail end in the final 4 weeks of the NHL regular season. So, Horwat, my question to you is, which team presents the best matchup for the Pittsburgh Penguins in the playoffs?
In that opening round, the best matchup for the Penguins, I would have to fall onto New Jersey, I think. Young squad, hasn't been there before. Trying to make a name for themselves and going up against, people talk about it nonstop, the Penguins' veteran presence that they bring to the postseason. They haven't missed it would be 17 years. The key guys, the core, Crosby, Malkin, Letang, have been there every year. Tristan Jarry is a goalie that needs to prove something. We're a team coming in hot, pretty much. It's a team that, especially against the Devils, we're a team that has this, and this going for it. All the proper positive motions, I guess. Whereas the Devils fly in and go, how did we get here this early? Especially if something slips for the Penguins and we're the second wild card and the Devils are the first in the Metro. How did we get here? Vitek Vanacek's our goalie? What happened? What happened to him being the backup in Washington?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that are very interesting about New Jersey, which makes me believe they'd be the easier competition. That being said, I mean, we still have another game left against them, right?
There's a game left for the Penguins against both the Devils and the Bruins.
Bruins. I forgot about the Bruins. Oh, that's who we'd play. I'm dumb. That being said, Bruins wouldn't be fun. But
I actually think the best matchup for the Pittsburgh Penguins is the Boston Bruins.
That wouldn't be fun, but go ahead.
It would not be fun. Historically, obviously, the Penguins of the Sidney Crosby era have only played the Bruins once in the postseason. They didn't get a win in that series. Didn't come close, particularly, to getting a win in that series back in 2013. The Bruins are on pace for 63 wins right now, which is an NHL record if they do end up doing that. 62 is the current NHL record set by the Detroit Red Wings way back, like 90s, and also Tampa Bay Lightning of 2018-19. Now, I do want to factor in history a little bit there, because the last time that happened, of course, the Tampa Bay Lightning of 2018-19, they go into the playoffs and they get swept by the Columbus Blue Jackets, giving the Blue Jackets their first playoff series win in franchise history. These Penguins are much better than that Columbus Blue Jackets team. And that Boston Bruins team, in my opinion, is not as good as that Tampa Bay Lightning team was. They might get more wins, but they were not a better team. So history, sure, that's on the Penguin side, and you can take that for what it is, or you could throw that out in the trash. I don't blame you either way. But when I look at this, the Penguins haven't beaten any of these 3 teams. 0-1-1 against the Bruins, 0-2-2 against the Hurricanes, 0-2-1 against the Devils. And yes, the prevailing theory, and the one you mentioned, was the Devils are the team with the least amount of experience. They're the youngest team. You believe that the team that for the most of the season has been underneath these other 2 in the standings. But I think Penguins played the other 2 teams tougher this season. I mean, every single one of those 6 games between the Penguins, Hurricanes, and Bruins ended up with a one goal loss for the Pittsburgh Penguins, 3 of them in overtime. The Devils, on multiple occasions, both of the losses that ended in regulation, just absolutely wiped the floor with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Both games. Now, they also lost one in overtime, but when I look at the New Jersey Devils, I see a fast team that is stout defensively, that has multiple options in net. Yes, not proven in the postseason, but they do have options there. Whereas the Penguins have one option. If Tristan Jarry does not work, then it's over. Like Casey DeSmith is not going to backstop them to a series win. I don't.
Correct.
The Devils have multiple options there. They're faster. And Dougie Hamilton seems like he's going to score at least one goal on the power play in every single game against the Pittsburgh Penguins this season. He has 2 goals on the year, both of them on the power play. One of them was the OT winner. The Devils' power play is phenomenal. And it's just a matchup that I don't think bodes well for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Whereas the Bruins, yes, they are a phenomenal team. They are great defensively. They have what should be the Vezina Trophy winner in Linus Ullmark and a pretty good backup in Jeremy Swayman as well. They have the top-tier talent and the playoff pedigree. But I feel like that matchup for the Penguins is much more conducive to an upset victory. The Penguins can slow the pace down with the Bruins because the Bruins don't play as high a pace as Carolina or New Jersey. So, in my opinion, I know it's not an easy matchup. There's no easy matchups in the East, right?
Nope.
Let's get that thought out of the way. There's no easy matchups. But in my opinion, the best matchup is the Boston Bruins.